Hey everyone, Geophysicist Stefan Burns here. We have now had 47 eruptive episodes from Kilauea volcano, shooting massive lava fountains 1,000, 1,500 feet plus up into the air. And this is a major milestone for Hawaii because this number of eruptive episodes, 47, has now tied the amount of lava fountain episodes that occurred with the Pu'u'o'o eruptive cycle that lasted 35 years and was the biggest eruptive cycle for Kilauea in 200 years. So this is very significant, and we have episode 48 expected to begin anywhere in between May 24th to 27th. So it looks like this is going to continue, but there are some changes now in 2026 versus with the Pu'u'o'o eruptive cycle going from 83 to 2018. So we're going to break that down in today's video. Let us start off with something that's really important, which is recognizing that after the Pu'u'o'o eruptive cycle ended in 2018, we had an earthquake swarm start up in Pahala. And this is a location that connects the magma systems for Mauna Loa and Kilauea, because these earthquakes are occurring at depths of about 30 kilometers, 35 kilometers, 40, 45, 50. There are really two main zones going from 30 to 48 kilometers or so. And that's quite deep, but this is part of the volcanic plumbing system for the Big Island of Hawaii. And this is important because this is growing the overall magma reservoir that exists here. Every single earthquake creates new microfractures, and this helps to relieve pressure overall on the system as this magma is coming up that's generating these earthquakes and fills in those fractures. So if you get a big sudden push of magma coming up from the hotspot up to the surface, well, now you simply have a bigger reservoir of magma to begin with than you did before this earthquake swarm began. There's been tens of thousands of earthquakes here. So this is a big system that's developed, and it's not just for Kilauea, it's also for Mauna Loa, the real big baddie here, okay? So we're seeing big activity from Hawaii, and we can put this into context by learning a little bit about the Pu'u'o'o eruption that lasted 35 years, okay? Ranks as the largest and most voluminous known outpouring of lava from Kilauea volcano's East Rift Zone in more than 500 years. It also had these incredible lava fountaining events. And to put this into context, it destroyed many homes. It inundated roads and highways with huge amounts of lava, solidified into new land. Acres and acres and acres of land were created off the coast of Hawaii. This was a big event. And now these eruptive episodes have tied the number of lava fountains that occurred with the Pu'u'o'o eruptive cycle at its beginning. It went all the way to 2018, and some big things happened also in 2018. Big earthquakes, big volcanic rift eruptions, and houses destroyed and everything. After that occurred is when we started seeing the Pahala earthquake swarm, and it's now Kilauea is erupting again, and we're seeing that everything is kind of building and building and building. And this lasted 35 years. We don't know when this is going to end. These are the 47 eruptive episodes shown via our tilt data as of this moment in time, May 2026, going back to December of 2024. So this is a big significant event. Here we can see the lava fountain episodes and their height. We've had some really tall ones going to over 1,700 feet for the Halemaumau eruptive episodes. They've occurred nearly twice as fast, but in general, they've been, I would say, a little bit lower, like not as tall as the Pu'u'o'o episodes. You can just kind of see that. But we have episode 48 starting up in just a few days. It's expected to begin May 24th to 27th, Sunday to Wednesday. So we're going to be exceeding that number of lava fountain events unless something dramatically changes in just the next few days. And something important to keep in mind is that, how does this eruption compare to past eruptions? Is it bigger, higher, longer? Well, they provide some good data right here. The The magma supply rate for the Pu'u'o'o eruption was about 4.6 cubic yards per second, or 3.5 cubic meters per second, similar to the long-term supply rate from the Hotspot 2 Kilauea volcano. The preliminary supply rate for the Halemaumau eruption is about 5.8 yards per second, or 4.4 meters cubed per second, or 25% more than the long-term supply rate. The Kilauea Iki eruption has long been known to have been fed by unusual pulse of magma from deep that average a little over 20 yards cubed per second, or 15 meters cubed per second, about 5 times the long-term average supply rate. So that eruption, the older historic eruption, showing that you can get these really big pushes of magma that far exceed normal. And right now we are about 25% more than the long-term supply rate at 5.8 cubic yards per second. And this is more than the Pu'u'o'o eruptions, and they had some pretty devastating effects. It was 35 years of activity overall, going from 1983 to 2018. The longest and most voluminous known outpouring of lava from Kilauea volcano's East Rift Zone in more than 500 years. We see one of those lava fountains right here. And you had buildings destroyed, you had roads covered with these lava flows, you had many acres of land created. In general, there was this ever-changing activity. Fissures were opening up. In 2018 is when you had a big caldera collapse for Kilauea. You had a fissure eruption to the east. You had many homes destroyed. You had a big earthquake, magnitude 6.9. So this is a very active system. But again, the key differentiator now versus the end of this eruptive cycle that lasted 35 years is the new reservoir holding capacity that exists underneath Pahala that connects Mauna Loa and Kilauea together. So it's now really almost dependent on deep earth dynamics and just, are we going to get an upsurge of magma from this hotspot? Because there's a lot happening with the earth. You can have micro changes in the rotation speed due to changes in atmospheric circulation. This is in part driven by solar activity. You have more volcanic activity during the bottom of a Gleisberg cycle than you do during the top. This is like an 80 to 100 year cycle of solar activity. We're in the bottom of a Gleisberg cycle right now with solar cycle 25. You also get slightly more solar activity, statistically significant, during solar minimum than during solar maximum. We're going towards solar minimum in 2029, 2030, 2031. So this is all building up perhaps to some really big activity from Kilauea volcano in the immediate future. And we've already tied the amount of lava fountain episodes that occurred with the Pu'u'o'o eruptive cycle, that first 3 years of it, and we did it in basically half the time. So that's your update on Kilauea. I'll keep you up to date on everything that's happening with the earth energetically. So please subscribe to the channel. This is my clips channel. I also have my main channel at Stefan Burns. Please smash that thumbs up button to help the channel grow. Thank you all so much. Wishing all of you well, especially those that live on the beautiful Big Island. I hope to be back soon. I will probably be holding an event once I return in September, so keep that in mind. God bless. I'll see you all in the next video.